Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Fast4. I'm recording this on Thursday, March 19th. Again, this is loosely based on a shortened tennis scoring format. Before we continue, be sure to hit that like button, share this with your friends, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. You can support us on Buy Me a Coffee. I will have a QR code over here on the screen. Number 1, Indian Wells. Well, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but obviously that wrapped up last week. The men's and women's final was both over the weekend. On the men's side, we had a final with Sinner taking out Medvedev on two pretty close sets. Medvedev kind of blocking another Sinner and Alcaraz final, taking him out in the semifinals. So interesting road there. On the women's side, we had Sabalenka taking out Rybakina in 3 sets. I think those are probably the top 2 women's players right now in the WTA. What's there to say there? It was an awesome tournament. A few things of note that really highlighted to me where, first off, let's start with the crashouts. Andreeva lost. Defending champion did not make it as far as I thought. Very angry, leaving the court, basically saying F you to everyone. And obviously the people there were a bit shocked on that. Second crash out that I felt like was pretty memorable was Bublik. Now you remember, maybe a year ago, Bublik was showing people how to smash a racket, and here he is showing it in true form, losing a little earlier in the draw. And the other notable thing on Indian Wells was the whole situation in Stadium 2. So as you'll see here, there were lots of crowds, there were crowds on the floor, on the grounds. But in Stadium 2, it looked pretty empty. This here is a Stadium 2 with Fritz playing, Fernley, and it looked pretty empty. So a lot of the reason for this, there was a change in seating and ticketing at Indian Wells. So in the past, if you got a grounds pass, you were able to get into Stadium 2, where this year they decided to ticket it. Now, was it really that big of a deal? It probably looked worse on TV. As a tournament as a whole, they did really well. They had the highest numbers attending. I think more than 526,000 people came to that tournament. And in context, Roland Garros last year had 687,000. So a lot of people were there. They just weren't in Stadium 2, so it sucked from a TV standpoint. So hopefully next year they're going to fix that. We'll see what happens. But a lot of stuff happened in Tennis Paradise I'm not going to spend a ton of time on since that tournament, the first half of the Sunshine Double, is over. Eala, again, blowing up in Indian Wells. Here's a quick video of her signing autographs after practice. You can tell that fans are just coming out to see her. This video here is a crowd watching her practice out on the practice courts kind of early on, and it's pretty full. Eala is inspiring a nation. The Filipinos and the Filipinas are out there in Indian Wells, totally enamored by her, and rightly so. I'm Filipino. There's not a lot of Filipinos out there at that level. I mean, the only one that comes off the top of my mind is Manny Pacquiao in boxing. So for Eala to be in, I think she's ranked 29, 28, so top 30, that's huge. And then there's a quick video of her winning, I think, her first round match. Good stuff. Unfortunately, she did not get to the semi. I think she lost the round of 16 again against Noskova. Pretty handily. I think it was a 1-2 or something like that. But hey, great tournament for Eala, and I have it in the background right now. She's playing Sigmund at the Miami Open, kind of up in that third set. So hopefully she gets through as well as she did last year or better at Miami. So speaking of the second half of the Sunshine Double, let's talk about Miami. The Miami Open has started. We're a few days in, but I think the theme is rain. So Monday basically the weekend was mostly rain out, but Monday was a rain out due to heavy rain. And Wednesday was mostly a rain out too. The weather has not been on the side of getting a lot of matches in, so they've cut qualies really short. I think they're just going to have to compact that schedule in going into this weekend. One of the busiest weekend for the Miami Open because, people are out of work and they want to kind of see the pros and see what it's like. Here's a photo of kind of after the rain or maybe tail end of the rain on, this was yesterday. I mean, it looks like a swimming pool over here. So, rain has really affected Miami kind of badly. If you look online and you look on X and Twitter, a lot of people are like, why is this on the schedule? Why don't you have a roof? But, the Miami, unlike Indian Wells, Miami is not in a fixed location. It always has tennis year round. This is the Hard Rock Stadium where the Dolphins play. They built this court and the outer courts right before the tournament. So it's not here all the time. And hey, maybe they do need a roof. That'd be awesome because at least they could have gotten some matches through on stadium. But I don't know if they're willing to put some money into that. So the weather in the forecast looks better for the rest of the week. I plan on being there for the Sunday night session coming up this weekend and then Monday day sessions. Perhaps me and my Double Deuces podcast partner will have to do an on-site pod. Hope we'll see there. Kind of semi-related. Medvedev had a little bit of a challenge getting from out in California to Miami. I saw this post where he needed help. He got to Florida and none of his bags arrived. United responded with this pretty seeming AI response. Daniel's response was the amount of AI help has been overwhelming. I think the best response here was the United crew kind of doing a QA and a quality testing on his equipment. It looks like this is all taken care of now. His trainer got his bags. He got his bags. As of yesterday, they're all ready to go. So it seems like that was a funny little side quest for Medvedev. But glad to see he got his stuff finally. Okay, so my fourth item, this is a TIL. I don't know if anyone's doing that or today I learned. Maybe this isn't news, but it's news to me that I didn't realize Metallica's Lars Ulrich came to this country with dreams of becoming a tennis star. I had no idea. He trained at Bolletary Academy back in the early late 70s, like the late 70s. And then he realized he wasn't at the level he needed to be to really make it pro. So he ended up just switching gears, following his passion. And hey, we wouldn't have Metallica if he was on the pro tour, right? And I didn't realize he came from a tennis family. His father, Tobin Ulrich, was a pro tennis player. His grandfather was also a pro tennis player. I didn't realize that was a thing. I was kind of shocked to find this out, but hey, cool stuff. And hey, a fellow Dane, Ho Rune, I know you're kind of come back from injury, kind of working. Do you have a song? Do you have a music passion that we don't know about? you got options here. All right, guys, that's all I have today. I appreciate you watching this video. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Buy me a coffee, kind of support my work here. And hopefully I will have a podcast recorded this weekend, either on or right after or during Miami. So thanks for watching.